Hey, what's up? This is DJ Benny coming at you with another Set the Record Straight video. It's been a long time since I did one of these videos because I really didn't have much to talk about. But in my previous videos, I've attacked deadbeat fathers, I've attacked haters, I've attacked, people that talk shit. I've even attacked social networking. I've attacked relationships. So, I got to thinking about it, and I decided, you can't leave the X's out. You gotta attack the X's. Because they are X's for a reason. Not only, there's two different types of X's. You have your X's that you don't have no children with. But then, some of us have X's that we have kids with. Which makes it 20 million times harder. You also have X's that if you had it your way, it wouldn't be an X. You know what I'm saying? That means it wasn't a mutual breakup. It was one person picked up and left. For their own personal reasons, which I'm not going to say aren't justified. In most cases, they are justified. But even with the justifiable reasons, it makes one think about the love, the history, and all that you went through to get to where you were before the ultimate demise. Now, before I light into some asses, cheating, just so we're perfectly clear on this, cheating is not the answer to fix any problem you may be experiencing, feeling. There are people that you can talk to. If sitting down with your loved one doesn't seem to spark the results that you are, seeking, there's counselors. There's people you can talk to. I'm not talking about the relationships that last, 6 months, and then something goes wrong, and then they move on. Obviously, there was no love there. It was fictitious. It was just lust. It is what it is. I'm attacking the issues of real, honorable love that has gone the distance, 10 plus years or more, and then all comes down to a crashing halt. Whether it be a mutual breakup, or it would be a person just feeling they've taken all they can take, and they skate it. Whatever happens to, family values and all the things that are said during the relationship when it's good. Why would a person stay in a relationship for 10 or more years if they're just going to pick up and leave in the end? Because isn't it supposed to be, can you stand the rain? You know what I'm saying? Isn't love supposed to bring you through the good and the bad? And, bad comes in all different forms. There's bad, and then there's bad. Cheating, etc., etc. However, people don't cheat because they don't love their significant other. Obviously, something drove this to occur. And people break up because they're hurt and they're upset and they're distraught. How could you? You got some nerve after all I've done, after all I've, etc., etc., etc. However, how come nobody addresses the baseline reason? There's always a reason. Men take the most crap for when things go wrong because women feel, oh, it's not my fault. But on the contrary, it's both of your faults. You both had a lot to do with where things winded up. So you would think that that's where the love would kick in. I'm going to fight for my man. I'm going to fight for my girl, etc., etc. This can't end like this. And now, understandably, things do end. Especially if somebody involved doesn't want it as bad as you do. It's just the way it is. You're left to be made to feel cheated. You invested all this time in a person that you ultimately fell in love with. However, things going on were just far much stronger and greater than you to fix it. And so things took a different course, the wrong course. And you break up. Now, when there's no kids involved, that's one thing. Kids today are being raised in broken homes. And society has it all figured out that, this is normal. Kids will be just fine. Because, let's face it, it's bullshit. Because a mom can't be a dad. Okay? There's motherly love and there's fatherly love. One parent can't do the job of both. And with everybody coming from a broken home, people fall in love, they become parents, whether it's a first-time parent or etc., or you have other children. And when things get bad, you look for reasons to leave. And then you make it worse by coming up with all kinds of other reasons to not want to work it out. Either you just didn't want it, you didn't want it. Common sense, you just didn't want it. Everybody has to make a choice. Now you're in a situation where you got a child with someone that you love very much. And I'm just speaking in general because I'm not alone on this. There's a lot of people out there going through this that experienced a long-term relationship, produced a child in the process, and then the relationship ended. Not because they both wanted it to end, because one left. Now, the woman could have left, the guy could have left, whatever. But what happens when the father of the child, all he wants to do is be a family? And perhaps, yes, I agree, people make mistakes. They're called mistakes for a reason. If people thought through every single thing that they do, every move they make, they wouldn't make a mistake. That would be abnormal. So, in a relationship, there's good and bad. You fight about money. You might even fight on an intimate level because things behind closed doors aren't up to expectations. Somebody's not doing their job. Lack of communication. Your significant other may be treating people around you better than you. Just so many different elements that can occur. And instead of sitting down and hashing it out and holding things together, after all, if you go through 10 years or more, come on, you already made it. There's nothing. At this point, there should be nothing that you can't overcome. But what happens when you can't fix it? Now you're a part-time parent. And in order to fix anything, it takes two. And if one refuses, guess what? We're left thinking, wow, how much of this relationship was real? You get people say things like, I'll never leave, and, and ultimately, promises are made through any relationship. Promises get broken. People go back on their word. But there's always a reason why people falter. People lose track. People lose themselves in the midst of everything that may be going on in their personal life and anything going on outside of their personal life, whether it be job, everyday stress, and just your normal everyday relationship problems. We all have them. But to use the normal everyday relationship problem that everyone has, okay, and you will have again should you go and date again, to use those as a reason to not work something out, to be a family, especially with all these kids coming from broken homes and these kids miss their parent, You know, they want their other parent. Their other parent is not always there, and that child doesn't know why. You know, we have to explain to them why mommy and daddy's not together anymore. Like, really? We need to put our child, any child through this? And then we risk them growing up and then having failed relationships too. Well, mommy and daddy never stayed together. So apparently this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, I'm speaking in general terms. This Set the Record Straight video has nothing to do with attacking just one person. This is based on general stuff, and and some of it's on my, from my own personal experience as well. So, if my exes happen to look at this, they're gonna be like, yeah, he's trying to talk shit. But it is what it is, And then after the breakup occurs, and ultimately everybody tries to fix things. And when one person tries to fix it and the other one doesn't want it fixed, then that pushing turns into harassment. It turns into a lot of things. But my question is, where's the love? What happened? I mean, we get hurt, we get upset, we go through this and that, but we know what we love. We know what we want. So, people that have children, you really feel that you're benefiting the child by pulling away from, your significant other and just, you're done? Now, arguably, if you're in an abusive situation, I'm talking physicality. Because let's face it, we say things to each other in the heat of the moment that we don't mean. But it hurts. It cuts like a knife. And some things that we say, we can't, make it right sometimes, Well, I understand you said it because of how you were feeling, yada, yada, yada. You were mad, you were hurt. But I can't let go over the fact that you said it. You get accused of doing things that you really had no intentions of doing. Because it presented itself in a way that you have no other way to look at it. Because you refuse to look at it in other ways. Some people get together today and they're taking on pre-existing problems that both sides quite generally have. And whether it be previous children or any type of baggage, any type of childhood trauma, this can happen to both male and female. Quite commonly, from my experience, it happens more with females. So, you're taking on each other's baggages. Quite generally, you were friends in most cases before you became anything else. So it's no shock that you know what you're taking on, you know what you're falling in love with, you know the situation. But relationships do run their course. And it's up to the people involved to pull it through and make it work. Exes can be very cruel, especially when one still loves the other. I mean, you don't answer the phone because you feel like you don't have to. Oh, it's just him or her. It's no big deal. It shouldn't be like that. Where's the respect? You got a person that may still love and gives themselves all unconditionally to the other person. Is it fair to be treated like that? Comments get made, things get said, you get pushed to the side, you get left out, and all you want to do is be there. You want to be there. You want to be there to help. Most of us have reached a point where we face all our mistakes. We apologize, we cry, we get on our hands and knees and we beg for forgiveness. And the other person just doesn't want to buy into it. they want to protect themselves. Maybe they feel that if they let you